Hi, I'm Erika Freezy,
I'm Kaylea Hoenigschmidt.
I'm Katrina Impola.
and we research the Minnesota Deaf and Blind Association. So it was established in 1979, and it's the only organization by the deaf and blind people for the deaf and blind in Minnesota, which is really awesome. Their goal is to help assist deaf and blind people to maintain their own personal independence, as well as having healthy interdependence, which means who they work closely with, such as SSPs, interpreters, drivers, etc., which we'll get into a little later on. But they also provide different services with the public, such as information, education, and advocacy, which is really important. So, different services they provide. They have programs and services which promote self-reliance, which is important for any individual, but especially for people that are deaf and blind. They have driving services which help people that are deaf and blind go to and from places that they need to go. Support service providers who are SSPs, we'll get into that a little later, and interpreters, which are awesome.
Every year, the DeafBlind Association holds different annual events. One of their big ones is the annual summer social, which is usually a picnic or other social gathering in commemoration of Helen Keller, who is a huge inspiration in the deaf-blind community. Their other really big one that they have is their Thanksgiving banquet, which is a fundraiser, silent auction. This is one that a lot of students are encouraged to get involved with and volunteer. They also have the Minnesota Deaf-Blind Retreat, which happens every year. It's a 4-day retreat that the deaf-blind community gets to go out and do outdoor activities like fishing and hiking and things like that all together, which is awesome. Some other events that they host are leadership meetings. They also have community workshops to help inform the deaf-blind community of specific things such as fire safety, sexuality, food and nutrition. These are all a few that they've done before. And they also give information and education to parents and families of deaf-blind and also other people in the community who want to become more aware. Volunteer opportunities for students. So students are always welcome to get involved with the deaf-blind community. They're always looking for volunteers to help drive participants, be a support service provider such as guiding and providing information or meals, communication, and one-on-one interactions with the deaf-blind person. If you are a qualified interpreter, you can also provide your interpreting services. They can be donated to the MDBA. So yeah, those are great opportunities for people to get involved.
We had the opportunity to speak with a MDBA board member. We talked with the secretary, Leah Dolezal. She told us more about the inside happenings of the organization. We learned that there are 4 board members, the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, along with 5 trustees. They meet every 3 months or 4 times a year. And the board members are elected by the members of the organization, and anybody can become a member of the MDBA. All you'd have to do is pay the yearly fees. The treasurer is elected by the president because of the more demanding role. The terms for the board members are 2 years, and they're staggered, and they really meet to come up with ideas and fundraise to provide the workshops and the interpreters for the deafblind for the rest of the year. There are many methods of communication with the deafblind. They usually sign small and close in front of them. You can use bigger signs, or some use tactile signing, which is like hand-on-hand communicating. And they use a system of signals on a person's back or knee. For example, they might do like a fist and a nodding motion on their back to show the visual cue like someone's nodding. The MDBA also provides a lot of awareness for Usher syndrome. It's the declining of vision, and they're a really good support group for people with this disease. We've found some tips and interesting facts. You should not wear red while interpreting for a deafblind person, and you should also try to stay away from any perfumes or scented lotions because these can be distracting when you're really close to each other. 3/4 length shirt sleeves are a good idea because they're able to hold on to your wrist or forearm and feel movement through your wrist. You should also keep your nails trimmed to prevent any scratching. And the DeafBlind Association is really looking for more young interpreters to kind of bring new energy into the association. Something that we all learned was that deaf people sometimes are afraid of deaf-blind people. They're kind of misinformed, and they think that blindness will spread to them.
The example given to us was some people believe that if they hug or kiss somebody who has HIV or AIDS, that they will contract the disease, which obviously we know isn't true. But some deaf people think that if they're in contact with a deaf-blind person, that they're going to become blind as well, and that scares them a lot. But obviously this is misinformation. All right, this was our project on MDBA. Thanks.
Thank you.